Now, as Daryl and I mentioned, we chose to bring our limos to someplace posh, swanky and special, and what a place this is. In fact, this is Shangri-La's Rasa Sayang Resort and Spa located in Batu Ferringhi district of Penang, and what a place this is. We'll have more about the hotel in a bit, but let's get back to our cars. And as we discovered yesterday, all of them drove rather well, but these are limos. So being limos, it's not so much about driving, it's more about being driven in. Let's get to know our cars a bit better, shall we? Now, if it's not obvious, it should be so. Those two Germans we spoke about earlier, they're the top choice of traditional European mafiosos. On that note, by default then, the Lexus here should be a top choice for Yakuza Don. Just look at it. One thing's also for sure is that this Lexus will win the big grille competition, and it will win it in style. Look at that. This says that big can be beautiful. But enough about looks. Let's find out if this Japanese limo has caught up well to its German rivals or not, shall we? Right, life in the backseat of the Lexus LS500 isn't too bad per se. I mean, the level of craftsmanship here is superb, and I'm not just talking about the Kiriko glass cut and 100,000 ringgit door insert in this million ringgit car. However, I do need to say that compared to the two Germans earlier, this car does feel a bit moody to sit in the back with, because unlike the other two Germans that have two sunroofs, one for the front, one for the back, the Lexus only has one. Nevertheless, there are other things to bask in with this Lexus, one of which being NVH, and despite not being a hybrid with no electrification, the level of noise suppression here is impressive to say the least. And best of all, amongst the three, this Lexus packs the best massage seats ever fit into a car. And if you don't mind, I want to enjoy some of that right now.
When it comes to giving cars facelifts, BMW clearly prefers to go big than to go back home to Bavaria. And the proof is in the new grille. It's 40% larger than before, paired to slimmer headlights, so it's a much more aggressive front end. You may or may not like it, but you gotta admit, that is one aggressive grille. There is more to the new 7 Series than its face though. It has all-wheel drive, it has a very clever plug-in hybrid powertrain, and it also has a carbon core passenger cell, very lightweight. But ultimately, it is a limo, so we gotta check out the back seat. Right. Clearly, this is as big as it gets in the back of a BMW saloon. Now, right off the bat, it may not be as quiet or as well insulated as the Mercedes S-Class or the Lexus LS. And I think this has got something to do with the carbon chassis. The 7 Series is, after all, the lightest car of the three, so maybe that has something to do with the hollowness that you get with the NVH at higher speeds. However, it's still a very comfortable car, and BMW's screen game is absolutely on point. It's the only one with touchscreens in the rear, and it's its unique party trick. A removable tablet which allows rear passengers to play with the multimedia, sat-nav, and even adjust the settings for the massage seats in the back. Best part is, it comes with the car, so you don't have to haggle with your sales agent for it.
Yeah, the 7 Series that Daryl's talking about earlier was probably the most technologically advanced of the lot we have, but nothing beats old school class like what the S-Class has. And good news as well, this is one car that will not win a big grille competition, because look at that, it's nicely sized. And for all you old school Merc fans, you get what I like to call the 3-point star yardstick as well. So you know, there's a lot of grandeur, a lot of presence involved with the way the S-Class looks outside. And as I mentioned earlier, this thing is probably the most superior performing thing on paper amongst the three as well, with this much power and torque available on hand. However, this is, after all, a limo. So a limo is not about driving pleasures, it's about the pleasure of being driven. Let me show you why the S-Class is the Mac Daddy in this segment. Okay folks, welcome aboard the Mercedes-Benz S560e, and it's a technological tour de force over here as well. It can almost rival the 7 Series. Whatever the 7 Series has, the Mercedes also has, and maybe a bit more. Highlights include wireless charging pad, rear aircon vents, rear infotainment system. Unfortunately, the 7 Series trumps it here in the sense where you have a tablet that you can hold into your hands, but nothing beats an old school screen like this. And talk about old school, this is how old school the screen is. It still comes with a dedicated remote control. Now with this screen, you can adjust quite a few things, from the climate controls to the massage seats. But clearly, what's really nice about sitting in the back of the S-Class is the fact that this is a true business class cabin on 4 wheels. Let me show you. See, with the Mercedes-Benz, there's no rush. It takes its time. Now, isn't that a lot like what you find in most major airlines' business class seats? And just to top it off, you even get your own set of noise cancelling headphones. Now, if you don't mind, it's a nice movie on the screen for me to watch while I enjoy the ride.
So, of all of the 3 cars here, which one do you like the most? For us, it's incredibly hard to pick a favorite because they are all flagship products that lead the way in terms of luxury and refinement. What we can say for sure is that they've all given us a very nice taste of the high life and of the great food that Penang has to offer.